Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Lab 207 webcast. My name is Mr. Kite. I'll be hanging out with you today as we talk about feeding feedbacks, fishy fertilizer, and soaring seagrass. So before we actually start talking about seagrass, I need to talk about positive feedback loops, which is simply a situation where the inputs interact with the outputs, which enhance the inputs to cause an amplifying cycle. So in this case, you've got population growth and births interacting to generate more population growth because you got a lot of people having more babies, which grow up to have more babies. Now, let's go ahead and switch on to seagrass. I want to present to you the Bahamas seagrass bed. It basically is like an underwater lawn where you've got some grass growing up out of the sandy bottom. You got some invertebrates, you got a few fish, but no big collection of wildlife. However, people in the Bahamas and other tropical waters build artificial reefs to compensate for reefs that have been damaged. Now, artificial reefs can take many forms. You can have a basic cinder block and PVC pipe on the left there, or people get artsy and they make sculptures. Now, the function of an artificial reef is to provide habitat for fish and substrate for coral. So that's basically what we're trying to do, is we're providing an artificial structure for a coral community to grow up around over time. Now, these coral reef communities also get seagrass communities that start to grow around them. We're going to talk about why that is in just a moment. So, as I showed you in one of the first slides, a seagrass bed normally is just grass with a few fish living around it. Now, if you drop an artificial reef in that, we're going to start with a small one, that artificial reef is going to start to attract some fish because they've got homes to live in. So as those fish come to the artificial reef, they bring with them whatever resources they have consumed elsewhere in the ocean. They get to the artificial reef, they start to pee and poop. That pee and poop has got nitrogen and phosphorus in it, which the seagrass loves. Takes in that nitrogen and phosphorus and allocates it to the growth of their roots. Now, the interesting thing is there's this ecological tipping point where if you build a bigger artificial reef that attracts more fish because there are more homes, more fish bring more nitrogen and phosphorus, which causes this ecological shift where the seagrass has got enough resources that it can start putting energy into growing big and tall, not just in growing roots. As that seagrass gets big and tall, it provides more homes for invertebrates and small fish, and it provides more food for grazers. So you basically get an expansion of your trophic pyramid. Now that brings in more fish, which pee and poop more, which causes the grass to grow bigger. And you can see how this is an example of a positive feedback loop where more grass brings more fish, which causes more grass. Hope that gave you a little insight into the Bahamas and positive feedback loops. Thanks for joining us on the Lab 207 webcast. Hope to see you again.